Hey, fine girl.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Please come in. Welcome to Fatherland.
Add it up. Okay, alright.
A bunch of my audience is probably like, they're hearing Welcome to Fatherland. They're like, who is Fatherland? Who is this dashing young man? Introduce yourself to.
Sure. My name is Akinola Davies Jr. I'm the director of My Father's Shadow. My Father's Shadow is my debut feature, which was first Nigerian film in competition in Cannes Film Festival, and also the first Nigerian film to get an honorable mention for the Camera d'Or. And Fatherland is a production company here in Lagos, which is run by Fumbi Ogunbao, Wale Davis, and myself.
Well, so sorry. He said that he just wants to let you guys know from the jump that you're not on his level. In addition to My Father's Shadow and all the amazing records it's broken, your short film Lizard was also the first Nigerian film to win the Grand Jury Prize at Sundance.
Let's clock it.
So how dare you? What's all this excellence about?
Hey, I mean, I'll take it. My mother said I should go out into the world and shine, but to be honest, it's a team effort, you know? We have a fantastic team here at Fatherland and loads of fantastic collaborators across the country. So we try and just pull in the best people and make the best work. And
Okay.
That's where the results come in.
Let's meet some of this fantastic team.
Please come through, huh?
Okay, so what I want to know from you, Akin, who is your favorite person that works at Fatherland?
Ooh, that is a tough question, you know? I would say I love everyone equally.
Oh, no, we don't want that. We don't need that kind of Nigerian
You know what?
politician
Actually, I
answer.
take that back. Whoever is running point on coordination on any given day, that's my favorite person.
Love that.
So that changes, to be honest, because that's the person you need to keep sweet.
Fair.
Just like this lovely lady here today. You need to keep her sweet because she's doing bits. You get me?
Well, you flatter me.
Hey, no, you flatter me, huh? So yeah, it's one day to the premiere of My Father's Shadow in Nigeria. We're really excited. In my hands are the invitations that are about to be sent out.
One of which I will collect.
One of which is already with your name on it before you even stepped in. Like I knew you were coming. But yeah, we're really excited. The team is really excited. We got a red carpet tomorrow. And then we have the official premiere, which is on Friday. And I'm really hoping everyone's going to go to the cinema and support our small film.
They don't worry, I'll threaten them appropriately.
Please, bring
And
all,
also-
bring all your baddies and goodies.
Oh my God. When was the last time you cried?
When was the last time I cried?
Yes.
When I heard you were coming to raise me today.
Oh,
to be
please.
honest.
Oh, please.
But I'm quite a softie. I cry at very happy moments. Like, I think I was watching the 100 meters at the World Athletics Championships, and I think the Jamaican team won, and they finally took the title from America. So I had a little tear for joy because Team Jamaica, you know?
You mentioned your brother Wale Davis, aka Tech from Freedom Camp, the people's fave.
People's champ.
He has a little cameo in this. How would you rate Wale's acting on a scale of 1 to 10?
Do you know what? I'm obviously a bit biased because Wale is my older brother, and if I don't put in a good word, he can still deck me. So his performance was fantastic.
Oh, okay.
I think he's probably in line to get a best supporting actor role.
That's crazy.
Just from that performance.
Okay. Are you ready
For
to go to
sure.
another room?
Yes, please. But before we do, please pan and see our beautiful staff here. Don't be shy. Say hi. Hey, there you go. We're gonna see where all the big decisions are made. This is the lounge area. This is the next generation. Don't look at them. Don't look at them yet. They're going to be the next generation of Fatherland. We're protecting them. But yeah, this is the lounge area, and we got a recording room, which we'll show you later on.
Speaking about generation of things, I find it so wonderfully interesting how WWE is such a core childhood memory for literally almost every Nigerian child, because I could have sworn that it was just happening in my own house. So pretty early on in the film, we see Akin and Remy playing with paper versions of their favorite wrestlers.
Yeah,
That bit got me wondering about your childhood and what you got up to as a child for fun.
sure. Well, it will surprise you to know that we were playing with a lot of paper wrestlers in our childhood because I had a reputation. I was called the Destroyer amongst my cousins because
That's
I was
crazy.
very, very good at breaking toys.
Oh, fair.
So we ended up playing with these paper ones that a guy down the street would always make. But beyond that, just loads of video games. I'm not like my brother Wale, who's disturbing us right now. He was playing barefoot in the streets. He was just always for the streets playing football, you know. Whereas I was in the house playing video games, playing with paper men, keeping it a buck, you know.
How heartbroken were you when you found out that WWE wasn't real?
It's real. I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry.
Fair enough. What has making film taught you about yourself?
I guess it's taught me that that I have like a certain level of ability to manifest things. I think this is a dream that's been sort of almost 10 to 15 years in the making. And I think I manifested it even before I believed it was possible to happen. Equally, I think it showed me a lot about my sort of skill set in leadership, the way I like to lead. I think I'm quite a soft leader, but I think at the same time, I'm extremely collaborative and just like to bring people along for the journey.
Fair. Anyone with eyes can see that you're an extremely stylish guy, because
I
this
mean,
fit is given.
If you have
10
eyes,
over
you
10.
have-
And I don't give 10s. So, hey,
if you have
talk
eyes,
to
you
me
have
about
eyes.
your relationship with fashion, what style means to you.
Yeah, I mean, the relationship with fashion has been very torrid at times. It's not always the final outcome, but I think it's been an opportunity to express myself. I mean, I think I left Nigeria when I was 13, and then I just used to wear whatever my older brother would hand me down, to be honest. I didn't really have much of a fashion sense, but then went to school in England, and all these kids were wearing like track suits and stuff. I'm more interested in style. I'm more interested in how people express themselves. I like to travel around the world and like pick and borrow from different cultures and try and make things mine.
Let's talk about Bagada Phase 2.
Hey.
Describe your time there in 3 words.
Maybe we should go and sit down in the office for this one.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. Let me show you the main membrane of Fatherland. This is also have a seat, guys. Don't be shy.
Thanks,
Bagada Phase 2 was the epicenter of everything when I was growing up. Well, I mean, if you lived on the mainland anyway, because it was close to the schools we went to, which were Corona Bagada and Green Springs Montessori. But yeah, Bagada Phase 2 is where it happened. It's where we learned to play football. It's where we learned to play video games, play with paper men. It was a very lovely, come to think about it, it was a very lovely neighborhood to grow up in. Yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, I think about it with a lot of fond memories, especially when I'm driving past from the airport to the islands more recently. But yeah, I love Bagada Phase 2. Shout out.
Like you said earlier, you grew up between Lagos and London. What is the most Lagos thing about you, and what is the most London thing about you?
Yeah, I think the most Lagos thing about me is I'm just extremely resilient. I think ultimately, you know, apart from the fact that I'm a fine guy, but, you know, I think the most resilient, I think, yeah, to be a Lagosian is to be extremely resilient, it's to be extremely resourceful. I think it's to have a lot of respect, and I think it's to, yeah, sort of never give up. I think the most London thing about me is I like comfort. Yes, I like to chill. I like to lay down. I don't like stress. So maybe it's the antithesis of the Lagos thing, basically.
Fair. Let's talk about a signature pose of yours.
A signature pose of mine.
The money hands. Talk to me about how that came to be.
Do you know what? You think they're money hands because you like money, but they actually
crazy.
love hearts. In Japan, they
That's
do
a
this
very
as
okay. Fair
little
enough. In
love
Japan,
hearts. Yeah.
okay, fair.
So, but I'll take it. Money,
I can say
money
I've
and
not traveled
love.
to Japan.
Money
so
and
I
love.
should not.
Hey, I didn't see the.
We're seeing the deckings. We're
Do you
seeing
know
the
what I mean?
deckings.
This is actually my Nigerian tailor, but you know. it was-
Shout out to Nigeria.
ahead
Nigerian
of
tailors are
time.
amazing. What do you do when you feel creatively stuck?
To be honest, like this might sound kind of random, but I embrace it. I don't think you have to be creative all the time. I think there's so many outlets of creativity that you can engage in. I probably would go to like an exhibition, or I'd go to the theater, or I'd go watch a film. Or to be honest, I try and travel. I think I'm most inspired when I have the privilege of traveling and seeing how Black people live in other parts of the world, because I think there's a lot of similarities that we share.
Speaking of travel, you wrote part of this film in rural Ghana and other parts in Jamaica. What is your favorite place in the world you've been able to travel to so far?
Ooh, this is controversial. I wasn't there for long enough, but I would say Brazil. I'd say, yeah, it's one place that like everybody thought I was Brazilian straight away. And I think it's the type of place where if you're Black, you go there straight away. Everybody just, yeah, you just fit in. But other than that, I mean, I'm also quite biased, and it might sound like a lie, but I love traveling around Nigeria, even the places that you wouldn't think. I remember we went and shot something in Zaria a few years ago, and it wasn't like it wasn't Club Med, I'll put it that way, but it was definitely like an experience that I cherished because we got to film the Durbar over there. And I just love to see as much of Nigeria as possible. I want to go to where you're from.
Which is where? Because
In Abuja.
Oh my
But, you know,
God,
I want to
please.
go there. I want to see everywhere.
I saw your brother Wale somewhere. Should we go and disturb
Yeah,
him?
let's go and disturb him.
Okay.
This is the boardroom. Everybody's hiding.
Wale is already posing.
He's already
unprovoked.
posing.
The
We can't-
camera is even on
We
Wale.
can't even hear him.
Akin is here with his fellow co-founders and CEOs of Fatherland. So, how do you feel about Wale's cameo in the film? If you had to rate his acting on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
Oscar
Honestly, 10.
Can you see how Wale did not laugh?
That's
I'm not
team.
even gonna lie.
Team, we're all locked in.
10.
Wale, was that your acting debut?
No, actually.
It's not a debut.
I was in a short film that Akin did before in the UK, yeah. But as a security guard, I had a non-speaking role. So I think I graduated this time. Despite the fact that I've been in a major film in big festivals, I've never been on Is This Seat Taken?
Whose fault is that?
Come on now.
Who let the audience
Come on
make
now.
their own deductions? And whose fault do you think that is?
I just want to say
Yeah,
that.
here taking a seat is on my channel, so hey.
Wow. I get the bootleg.
No, you didn't get the bootleg.
Let's just focus.
Oh
Let's
my
not lose
God.
focus now.
Obviously, you guys have a special relationship. What would you say
Okay.
is the greatest lesson you've learned either from watching him or by, again, creatively working with him? Just personally, creatively, talk to me about this relationship, what it means to you, and what you say the greatest lesson you've learned from him is.
I think it was very early on in our creative process of working together that I realized that my brother was a genius.
Aww.
Right? And for me, actually, was a
We're clocking it.
Clock it,
we're
clock
clocking
it, clock it.
So for me, it's actually great, an honor, I'd even say, to be able to stand alongside him as we take this journey into film. And I say the greatest lesson I've learned is patience and humility, because as a bigger brother,
I'm screaming.
to take instructions from your younger brother will test your patience and will test your humility. And so that's what I'll say.
Last question, and this is the three of you.
Oh,
Let's just talk a little bit more about Can. Can you take me in your luggage next time?
God.
Can you guys? Wale, will you take me in your luggage? Yes. Okay, Fumi?
No.
That's crazy, because yesterday you were like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. And so you're fake.
No, girl.
So you took me your luggage. Why that?
It's gonna be full. It's like packed.
Okay, all the outfits. Okay, Met Gala that you want to
Wait,
do
wait,
there.
wait, let me.
Okay.
We won't need to take you in the luggage because you'll be in the next film.
Okay. All right, thanks for talking to me, guys. Akin, let's bounce.
See you guys later. Guys, this is a rare specimen that I'm holding right now.
Really?
As in, you can't find too many of these creatures on the planet. This is an
Please, can we see
SC.
her hair, because it's giving
No,
fashion.
you're
But
not
you
allowed
can't
to
even
see
see.
too much. You can't even see
I
too
love
much.
how she turned
In
out.
fact,
She didn't even listen
you
to
can't
you.
even see too much because it's a rare specimen. You ask me who's my favorite in the office. On any given day, this is my favorite in the office.
Aww.
Because she be putting in work. Okay, go. I don't want them to see you too much.
All right. Give me 3 films that have shaped you as a filmmaker and 3 films that have shaped you as a human being.
Oh wow, 3 films that have shaped me as a filmmaker. Lionheart, Genevieve Naji, because I remember when that came out, it was the Nigerian entry to the Oscars, and there was just a lot of buzz around the fact that it was quite a big budget Netflix film, and it was really exciting. And I think that was one of the first notions in my head that, okay, like, wow, maybe if we make something this good, we'd be able to be in the same conversation. I would say as a filmmaker, probably a film called Shoplifters, which is made by my favorite director, Hidetoshi Korida. He's Japanese. That's just about working class people in Japan. And I would say the last film is Mula Day by Usman Sembene. It's like a folklore film made, I want to say in the 80s or late 70s, about FGM, and actually is really ahead of its time, and it's really about how like a community can bind together to change their world. And then 3 films as a human being, wow, I would probably say, The Sound of Music.
Love The Sound of Music.
Yeah, me too. I knew we were on
No,
a
there
level.
is.
Sound of Music is my favorite film of all time. There's politics, there's drama, there's children, there's love, there's nationhood, all that stuff. So I definitely say Sound of Music is 1. I would probably say something like Science of Sleep, which is probably quite niche, but it's just a crazy creative film by Michel Gondry, who I was obsessed with for like quite a long period of time. And then last film as a person, I used to be really into war films. So I'd probably say Saving Private Ryan because I think, yeah, that film I was really, really obsessed with for a while. I used to love Tom Hanks. He was my favorite actor growing up. So that and Forrest Gump, actually. Yeah, I love Tom Hanks.
Wonderful. We heard you guys have an editing suite. Do you want to take us there?
Yeah, I'm going to take you to the back room. Let's go. Ooh, look at it. It's all set up and ready for you. Okay, where would the lady like to sit is the question. Do I sound like Barry White?
How do you want Sam to
Hmm?
achieve that? Is it him that's going to make you sound like Barry Rice? I always say a good film is a triumph of collaboration.
True.
Because there's so many moving parts that need to be executed well. What would you say is the easiest thing for you in making a film, and what is the hardest?
I think the hardest is managing everyone's expectations because I think, when you're working with people who take their craft really seriously, who are quite high in their career, they might be used to a certain standard and you're like, okay, cool, can you come and reinterpret this standard for us? Because it's my debut film, for example. So I say it's like managing those expectations, letting them know that, look, we're trying to bring everyone along for the ride. We're trying to raise the standards in general, Yeah, that's the most difficult thing because I think it's really, you want to give people the best environment to do what they do. What would I say is the easiest thing? Is there anything easy in what we do? Yeah, I think it's just the joy of what we do. I think look, we're all here holding cameras. We could be doing something more manual labor. Not you, because you're too pretty for that. But we could be doing actual manual labor stuff. But actually, what we're here telling stories in another capacity. And I think that's just a joy of a job.
Jimmy's not hearing you on that manual labor point. He has been following you with gimbal all day.
Bless him.
You have a bunch of tattoos.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite tattoo and a most meaningful tattoo?
I don't have a favorite.
Is it because you have just so many?
No, I just I stopped having favorites and stopped. There's quite a few meaningful ones. Obviously, there's one here. It has no physical aesthetic correlation, but I got it on the anniversary of my father's passing a long time ago. And then I have one here. I got it on the anniversary of my best friend's passing a long time ago. So I'd probably say those are the two most meaningful. But beyond that, I have Uli tattoos, Igbo Uli tattoos. I have a lot of, Yoruba mythology tattooed on me. I'm just very interested in what was folk art, whether it's Hausa, whether it's Igbo, whether it's Efiki, whether it's Yoruba. I'm just very interested in the art and body modification that Africans and Nigerians used to do or still do to themselves.
You just talk about your dad's passing.
Yes.
Your dad passed while you were quite young.
Yes.
How old were you when you were able to process his passing as a loss versus just an absence? And what would you say the larger effect or impact of his passing had on you as a man? Or were you too young for it to have that much of an effect, essentially?
I would say 15 or 16 is when I noticed. I remember I was in school and I called my mom and I was crying and I was like, why don't I feel anything for this person I'm supposed to know and love and care about? So I think I became a lot more conscious of the fact that I'm grieving. Maybe I wouldn't have even called it that at the time, but I was definitely grieving. And I think that's probably where the consciousness kicked in. But I've always been very curious about my dad. I've always asked my mom questions about how they met. I keep old pictures and photographs. I'm named after him. So in very many instances, I am for a long period of time, I was living in the shadow.
I think one thing you captured really well in this film is childlike curiosity.
Yeah.
Right? The unfilteredness of it.
Yeah.
The incessant questions.
Yeah.
Right. So Akin and Remy had a lot of tough questions for their dad at different parts of the film. Has your niece ever stumped you with something she asked you?
Yeah, I think children ask a lot of fantastic questions. I couldn't tell you something specifically she's asked, but it's always the why, I think kids are always you explain something to them and they're like, why? And you're because I guess that's the way it is, And then you have to deep it and explain it to them a little bit more. But I also have 3 really beautiful nephews as well, and I think they equally are very curious about the why because, a couple of them, I don't even know if they've ever been to Nigeria. My elder brother's kids, we talked to them about Nigeria. We talked to them about what life was like growing up in Bagada, and their eyes are just lit up, Yeah, I still like to think I look at the world with this sort of childlike perspective. I think I'm very enamored by this experience that we have of life. I think is very unique. I think is a blessing. I think many people don't make it as far as the ages of everyone in this room. So I think it's just a real blessing to remember that, like, for right or wrong, like whether you believe in God or not, you've been sustained to this point in your life, and there's probably a plan, a bigger plan moving forward for all of us, especially me and you.
Okay. I knew you guys did not take this man serious for even half a second.
I
Because
was told bring the Riz. So,
I don't know who told you that. I don't know who
they
told you
warned me
that.
about you. So I
Oh
was
my
like, I'm
God, this
coming.
is wild.
I
Is this
met
my
my
reputation on the
match.
street?
Mm-hmm.
That is
I
crazy.
saw you make gigs sweat, so I was like, damn, she ain't getting me.
Oh my God.
You know? Are you blushing?
I'm not I'm actually so stressed. Choco Milo made an appearance in this film, courtesy of Mekus.
Well,
Fan Ice as well.
mhm.
Do you remember any snacks you enjoyed as a child in Nigeria? Like Nigerian snacks?
Everything I made in the film, Choco Milo, Fan Ice, Tom Tom didn't make it in. Shouts to Tom Tom. I mean, there's stuff like rich tea. Used to dip it in my tea or whatever. Milo. I used to mix Milo, and is it not Peak? What's the powdered milk? I can't remember.
Nido?
Yeah, I used to mix those together and put a little bit of water and like stir it and have it as a sort of like chocolatey thing or whatever. Yeah, I think, to be honest, more would have made it in, but like the clearances are like a nightmare to get through trying to make a film.
Fair.
Yeah.
Can imagine. I've seen the film, as I've
Yes.
alluded to. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I thought it was so beautifully shot. The framing, the colors, just visually very stunning.
Mm-hmm.
You chose to shoot it on 16mm. Why was that important to you?
Just like, I think celluloid is the most beautiful aesthetic medium to shoot film. And I just never felt I'd seen Lagos and Nigeria on celluloid, and I think it's deserving of it. You know, Europe, people talk about like in America, classic cinema, and it's on celluloid and like all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, but Nigeria deserves that too. Like Nigeria can have that too. I know the logistics of that are a lot more complicated, and obviously like a lot of the generation of filmmakers here and before maybe aren't familiar with celluloid, but I think hopefully if people watch the film, even just out of interest to see what Nigeria looks like on celluloid, it might try to sort of encourage more of a conversation of the use of celluloid, because it's been in existence in film for over 100 years. You on celluloid would be
Okay. You've reached your limit. You've reached your limits. Cut
Shabi
it
already
out.
said I'm putting you in the next film.
Okay. If I'm not in the next film,
Yeah.
there will be
worry.
protests.
I got you.
There will be protests.
Don't worry. We don't want protests.
There will be protests.
We don't want protests.
It's an incorrigible person.
Who, me?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
I just feed off the energy you give.
I
to
didn't
be
give you
honest.
any of that energy.
Do you want me to ask you a question?
Sure.
And be honest.
Mm-hmm.
What was your anticipation going into? Like, did you have a preconceived notion of what you thought you were going into versus what you came out of after you watched the film?
I was quite excited to see it. So I was just really hoping not to be disappointed because I already had that excitement. And sometimes going into things with that excitement, again, it's already pedestalizing it. So I'm like, let it just match that. And I really enjoyed it, genuinely.
Nice.
I said to Fumbi as well that as much as I enjoyed it, it's also a very triggering film to watch as a Nigerian. And I said, especially as someone that grew up in this country just like 15 to 20 years ago, right? You can really relate with this sentiment of Nigeria's going to change. Things are going to get better. And there's a moment one of the characters said, Nigeria is going to get better, even if not for us, for our children. And I was saying that's something we don't even believe anymore. That's something that even generationally cross. Now, people's sentiment is, let me just get my child a non-Nigerian passport so they can be able to compete in this world.
Yeah.
So I was like, that broke my heart, because I'm just like, again, growing up, we felt like, yeah, things in Nigeria are bleak, but they can get better. Optimism just dwindled little by little because of so many things. Another thing as well is, this is a film set 32 years ago, and you're seeing so many things happening that are still happening today, right? You're seeing people being killed, those deaths are being denied. You're seeing fuel scarcity. You're seeing police brutality. You're seeing unpaid salary. You're seeing the media being complicit in bullshit, for lack of a better word. Even the election was very triggering, considering the election we just had. So I wonder for you, was there any fear around discussing any of those themes?
Not really, no, because as you've just said, those things are still reoccurring.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know, maybe I take a slightly different, more optimistic view of things, because I do think, like, where there's a will, there's a way. I mean, it probably seems a lot further away for the aspect of Nigeria to change. But I think by virtue of us having this conversation, like, those wheels are already in motion. Ultimately, like, any catalyst of change has to come from someone realizing that we can all do better, basically, you know? And then it's left to us of whether we actually want to try and do better or we want to uphold the status quo. I think, for example, the fact that we've made this film, and not to go back to sort of like blowing my horn or whatever, but I think making this film shows that we have the skill set, we have the people, we have the stories, we have the locations. Yeah, we have everything we need already to be successful as a group of people, as a like community of people. All we need is just like the right infrastructure. And often enough, if we're waiting for people to create that infrastructure for us, it might never come. But if we play the long game and try and create that infrastructure for ourselves, then I think My Father's Shadow is a testament to like what can be achieved. But it takes for people to like take some pride in their country and pride in themselves to be like, okay, cool, I'm going to play the long game and I'm going to try and like create something as painstakingly as it can. Because if you speak to Wale or Fumbi in the last like 10 or 15 years, I guess we're here because we made My Father's Shadow, but 5 years ago, what would that have been? 2020, we would have just been making Lizard.
Mm-hmm.
My whole thing, the first day of shooting Lizard is like, why did these white people give me money to make this film? Like, what if we mess this up? And Wale was like, yeah, but what if we don't, you know?
Yeah.
And then here we are 5 years later. Imagine what the next 5 years is going to be like, and the next 10 years is going to be like. And ultimately, we just want to keep growing because we believe in Nigeria, we believe in Nigerians, we believe that we can make things better. Obviously, we're not politicians. Maybe if we had that same mindset and were politicians, it'd be different. But I think art has a huge part to play. It's always had a huge part to play in our culture and how we perceive ourselves and who we are. And I think art can be a real catalyst to showing us like the best parts of ourselves.
I think for sure. I think there's definitely still an access problem, an opportunity problem,
Completely.
and an unrealized potential problem. And what's exciting about it for me is hopefully with people like you, people can get opportunity. Because I definitely don't think it's a capacity issue or a talent issue. So I think just Fatherland, what Fatherland is doing, the mission is important. And hopefully we're able to empower more local storytellers. Anyways, to switch gears a little bit.
It's getting hot and heavy.
Yeah,
huh?
it's getting very hot and heavy. Let's talk about Nigeria. To go back to a line the character said in the film.
Yeah.
The character said it twice. I wonder if that was intentional. And I wanted to know your thoughts on that line. He said the problem with this country is discipline. Do you believe that?
Do I believe that?
Somebody off camera is shaking his head. He's like, yeah.
I don't know if I believe that. I mean, I think there's parts of myself in the script, there's parts of Wale in the script.
Yep.
I think my relationship with discipline is slightly different. I don't think, me personally, and you might completely disagree, I don't think there's any virtue in shouting at people or forcing people to do something they don't want to do. I think there's a skill in being able to negotiate with them and convince them to do something that is in their best interest. And I'm obviously generalizing, but I think sometimes the way discipline is kind of enforced is a lot more forceful. Is a lot less bringing people along. Is a more like, do this because I tell you to do it because I'm in a higher position, where I'm like, I think if people took more care with each other, if they risked each other a little bit more, then actually maybe we would be a lot more, just a lot further ahead in things we want to do. But to your question, do I believe the problem with this country is discipline? I mean,
I don't believe it. So
yeah, exactly. I'm not sure I believe it, but I'm sure
First of all,
everybody's
there's
completely
no a
different.
singular problem.
Exactly.
the problems are layered and they're
Yeah.
nuanced.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. There was a lot of very Nigerian conversations in the film, which I
Sure.
enjoyed. Because like you said, we don't see Nigerianness enough. There will always be people that carry the torch. So the main thing is to pass the torch. And
Completely.
to also just inspire people by your existence, right? Because I think that gives people permission to understand that things are possible and
Yeah.
believe that things are possible. So speaking about that, are there any Nigerian creatives that inspire you or have inspired you throughout your life?
Yeah, there's loads. You know, I'm obviously biased. I'll say my brother. I'd say a good friend of mine, Ayode Bambui. I think she's extremely talented. I think I said Genevieve Naji. I keep saying it like I'm sort of trying to manifest her into existence or whatever. Yeah, there's loads. There's like also people that you wouldn't know. Like we had an uncle who was the first person I've ever seen made a Nollywood film. He was shooting in our house, my Uncle Kofo, who's late now. Yeah, I mean, there's like all the sports, all the footballers. Yeah, just completely loads of people.
Yeah.
Too many to name actually, but I think even more closer to home, like the whole crew involved in My Father's Shadow, I would say like everybody involved literally moved mountains, and I'm not even like trying to over exaggerate. I think the process of making a feature film is exhausting.
Yep.
And I think when people are tired, that's when they like spark for each other. But I think ultimately like it's trying to get an exhausted bunch of people every day to move a mountain, you know? Yeah, I think that's what we achieved, and I hope we get to do a lot more of that.
You will. You started attempting to pursue this film career at 26, which you've said
Damn,
already
yeah,
felt.
homework. Huh?
I do a lot of homework. I've not even started, but I just have to calm down because of certain warnings I was given off camera. Anyways, by your own admission, you said you felt was late. And I think a lot of people will feel, oh, that's too late. So I just want you to speak to somebody who wants to do something, but they feel like it's too late for them to start. What would you say to them?
I guess it's like your own perception, because I think life is long. Like you never know how long you're going to live, and it's never too late to start again. My favorite, I always like put it into perspective for people. Like Martin Scorsese didn't shoot his first film till he was 39 or 40. Ava DuVernay was doing film marketing, and she shot her first film at 38, 39. At that point as a filmmaker, you're like, you've already missed out on almost 2 decades, if you're talking about like some fresh people who start in their 20s or whatever. But I always say the beauty of starting late is that you have a whole world of experience you're coming from. I said it in an interview earlier that I think all experience is good experience, like no matter whether it was positive or negative, because you have so much to pull from by the time you go and shoot something. Because it's like the difference between someone who has experience or somebody who's a freshie who's just come out of film school or whatever, picks up a camera, versus someone who's never gone to film school and is like 38, 39. The way you see the world is going to be different because you've had like a richer experience. Not to say the young person can't do it, but I'm more interested in this person's experience because they have more of something to say. Yeah, anybody who thinks that they started late, I would just say the things that you think will hold you back are probably the things that help you skip to the front of the queue.
I agree.
Yeah.
Give us your best fake deep quote.
I am that I am because I am that I am.
I don't know how that's worse than what I was expecting because my expectations were already low.
I mean, fake deep. But deep it. I am that I am because I am that I am. Look into my soul. Can you feel it?
No.
Okay, fine.
Felt nothing.
Damn.
Felt many things
I
watching
know
your
did.
film though.
Oh,
No, I felt
I
nothing.
see,
Look,
I see.
sir.
I see how you got it.
This is a Wendy's, sir.
Is it Wendy's?
Don't worry, that's a TikTok thing.
Yeah, bless you.
Anyways, the soundman is just looking at us like these people are insane. I've never seen this kind of aimless.
I think he's having a good
comment.
time.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm having a good time. You're having a good time.
It's to be decided.
I know you're having a good time.
Sure.
Because you're blushing the whole time.
Okay. Talking about having a good time, give us a fond childhood memory.
Well, this is going to sound really bad, but I was always really happy when my mom came home. But I was one of those kids that would pretend to be asleep, so I didn't help her with the bags.
Oh
coming
my
upstairs.
God.
But I was always happy she came home, but I was like, let Wale do it, or let someone else carry the bags. I'm the youngest. Let me just be the pretty one that doesn't do any work. But yeah, but probably something like that. I remember I'd hear the horn at the gate, and I'd be like, yes, mom's home. Okay, time to pretend to be asleep. And she'd come back and she'd be like, oh, my baby, you're sleeping. I'm like, yeah, gang. But yeah.
So you've been lying from
performing.
You're already just
performing,
skilled
not lying.
in being a liar.
Performing, actually. It's how you phrase
Performing,
it. Performing, yeah. Acting,
Why should people go and watch My Father's Shadow? Let me add a second part to that. What do you hope audiences take away from this film?
I'll give you my professional answer and I'll give you my real answer. I think people should watch My Father's Shadow. I think if you're curious at all about the Nigerian experience, I think if you're involved in film, I think if you're a lover of cinema, I think if you're a lover of storytelling, I think if you're a lover of like Nigerian performances, I think if you want to support a Nigerian film, I think if you want to see what the hype is about, because I guess at this point, Nigeria is going to be the first country we're having a theatrical release, because Rwanda, Ghana, South Africa have all been asking to see the film and stuff, but I think it's important for us to come.
Ake said he's in demand. So go and watch the film because he's in demand.
Have you been to
Rwanda?
Rwanda is beautiful.
Rwanda is very beautiful.
Yeah. But I would just say for all those reasons, like, I would really appreciate the support, and I think it's really important. As a film that is set within a historical context of Nigeria, and I think the performances are amazing, and Shokwe Dirisu is topless in the film. But if you want my own answer for the second part of the question, I think it's harder to say what I want people to take away from the film. I want people to project their lives into it and take whatever they want, because a lot of the reactions that we've got from the film, even from like the cast and crew screening, were just things we weren't expecting, you know? I think ultimately everyone can see an aspect of their lives within it, because that's the type of story we've really sort of nurtured to try and tell. And I want people to just come at me with whatever they saw in the film. I think it's too easy for me to say what I want people to take away, because as soon as I say that, that's gospel.
End of discussion.
You know? And I'm more interested in having conversations with people based on what they saw in the film. I'm interested in their conspiracy theories. I'm interested in the things that they pick out that might have been a mistake or might have been on purpose, because for me as a filmmaker, that's my king. Film is an opportunity for conversation,
for dialogue. The Egbo brothers, they did such an amazing job anchoring this film. Just amazing performance from both of them. How did you know they were Akin and Remy?
I didn't, to be honest. I just saw something. You know, it's really weird, and this is the most cliche thing I'll probably say, is like, people are like, you know, when you're looking for something, when you see it, you know. Find it. And I think for them, I didn't even know. I just saw these two boys who were like quite tactile. At that time, I didn't even know they were brothers. They were really supporting the other kids there. And I was like, how are these kids teaching other kids like their lines and stuff? And it turns out they have a brilliant mother who is an actor and a scriptwriter as well. To be honest, I didn't know. And in the first week, I said to Godwin today that I was a bit worried, because I was like, the older one, Marvelous, 10 out of 10. He's like a technical actor. But the first few weeks, I struggled with Godwin. But I think once I realized he's an 8-year-old boy, let him be an 8-year-old boy, and we'll work around that, I think his performance just blossomed. And actually, he has some of the like funniest lines in the film, because that's just his personality. I think once we embraced who they are, and I think that's another thing, I get asked this question about casting as well, is like, I just wanted to cast people that I believed were the characters. So I think for me, I just want people to believe that these are real people and this is like real life.
What are you most proud of on this journey so far?
To be honest, this interview I'm pretty proud of. I think this.
Okay, so can we have the real answer?
I'm proud of the fact that we created a structure in which everybody could work in. And I know that sounds really boring, but there was one day on set, which I'm not really allowed to talk about, but some shit went down. And the people who protected us the most were the area boys in downtown Lagos. And for me, it just goes to show that if you give people structure, if you treat them with dignity, if you pay them well, if you take care of them, they will like literally move mountains for you. Like for me, it was quite an emotional moment, because I was like, wow, like my whole life I've been told these people are going to disrupt what you're doing. And I've had shoots where they have disrupted what we're doing. But I think on the biggest project of my life, you know, on the most amount of stuff at stake, seeing that community within the layers and layers of communities we had all working together, I think I was like super proud of that, actually.
It's been amazing talking to you. Unfortunately, you have to go.
Yeah.
But I think you guys should watch the film. I loved it. Like you said, it sparks a lot of interesting introspection, conversations. I'm definitely looking forward to just everything you're going to do. I think you're already doing amazing. And my last question is, are we now friends?
We've been friends since hello.
Okay, so I can tell everybody my friend has a film in Ghana. Be my friend's film was the best.
And you're going to be in the next one.
You've said this now. Like,
just don't let your liver cut when I call you.
Liver. I don't like liver.
A few people in the crew secretly know what that next film is. We're going to be in the trenches.
What is the
the
dream for you? The ideal outcome for you out of all of this?
In life, or just the film in general?
In life.
Just to have a career that enables me to work, travel around Nigeria, continue to build with Fatherland. At this point in time, we know more about Europe and European culture and European films than we know of ourselves.
Agreed.
And I think there's a lot to do in terms of like, you know, like historical epics. I think there's, you know, I think we are due an action hero. I don't know how that's going to manifest, but, you know, I think there's just stories of how it, like Wale was saying before, like how would a character exist in Nigeria? For me, that's really exciting.
Same.
He's always referencing, oh, like I've never seen the detective do the thing, but I'm like, what would a detective story look like in Nigeria? I mean, they probably wouldn't solve the case, but it would probably be a very charismatic person, you know? But I just think ultimately I would just love to spend more time in Nigeria because I want to see the Nigeria my parents saw. I want to see what they believed in so much that we haven't been entitled to, because I also think over the course of their lives, like we've been a lot more fractured, we've been a lot more not encouraged to go and see other parts of the country. So that's the thing for me in film, is like the opportunity to travel around Nigeria and see this country.
Cool. So we're going to be doing that together. Chinasa and Akin travel Nigeria.
Deal, that's our TikTok show.
Stay tuned.
You heard it first.
Watch out.
Cool, thank you so much. It's
Of
been
course,
a pleasure.
it has been a pleasure as well,
Thank
even though
you.
it has also not been a pleasure. So hey, that's life. Balance.
Balance.
Yeah. There's more stuff to talk about, but Akin has to leave because that's what men do. They disappoint.
Don't worry, we can do this off camera.
Okay. Do you sing in the shower?
I do actually, yeah.
What was the last thing you sang in the shower?
I'm a big fan of Givion's first mixtape. So probably You Hate Me and I Think You Will Vanish, that one.
Okay, do you want to do some more singing for us? Because
Nah,
that was
nah,
sounding,
nah,
but
nah.
that was sounding good.
It probably is
Back
good.
yourself.
I do back myself, but this one is for off camera, off record stuff.
He wants to give you people nothing.
Don't
What
worry.
can
Come
I
to
do?
the film. If you come to the film
You
and you
sing for
show
them.
me a picture of your ticket that you went to the film, I'll send you an Insta voice note with me singing for 30 seconds.
Add it up.